Hi, my name is Zon Onion. I'm an assistant professor of graphic design at the University of Minnesota, the North. Today I'm going to be speaking about how to format type using CSS. Before we get going, I want to show you what we could be making. So what you see before you is going to be the final design of my demo. So I'm going to break this down for you to see how we're going to format each piece of the type that you see in this design. So at the very top, where my cursor is the main header. What below that is the subheader on here, and what below that is the paragraph text. So I'm going to show you step by step on how to do this. Stay tuned and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to my demo on how to format type using CSS. So before we get going, there are two different things that you're going to need to follow along with me in this demo. The first thing you need is you're going to need the HTML files and the CSS files to go with this demo. Each file is a step-by-step on how we could be making that file design that I just showed you a couple minutes ago. And then the second thing that you're going to need is brackets. Um, so if you do have that, please pause this video and I will allow you time to get those things and just get cracking. Okay, so I want to begin this demo by showing you the first HTML file that's inside of the demo folder. The file is called format with CSS01 HTML. And if you open up in Chrome, Google Chrome, this is what you see. Okay, so I want to take a little bit of time to break down this HTML file so you can understand what its tag is and how it's working in this file. So just begin at the very top where we have the dark type HTML. This identifies the file as a HTML file. Okay, and then on this tag on line number 3, this is the HTML tag. So everything that goes after this between the HTML tag, the begin tag and the end tag of the HTML, everything in between is gonna be more HTML tags. So then on line number 4, you have the head tag. So in the head tag, you have information that you don't see in the file, okay? But they are very important to the making of this file. So let's talk about what each thing is. So on line number 5, we have the title tag. You can see this is the title of the file, and you can see that by right here, what appears in the tab right here is the same piece of type that you see here in the type tag. Then on line number 6, you have the link to the CSS file. Okay, so the link of this file to the CSS is demo01, and this is the CSS file right here. Okay, so then the next link that you see and highlighted in green is the link to the Google Fonts. This is the URL of the Google fonts. This identifies right here where the blue cursor is, identifies what typefaces I could be using and the font weights that I could be using. And then right in here, lines 8 and 9 are the media tags. Okay, and then everything below that in the body tag, this is the beginning of the body tag, and this is the end of the body tag. Everything in between those tags is going to appear inside of the browser window of Google Chrome. So everything is wrapped around the P tag, and as you may have remembered from a past demos about HTML tags, the P tag is the paragraph tag. And then I have the H3 tag, and that is this is the beginning of the H3 tag, and this is the end of the H3 tag. And everything in between those tags is going to be summarized using that tag. Okay, so that is the current design process. So you can see that one in here. And then we have the front tag on line 15 and line 17. Okay, and then we also have another tag with the I tag, and the I tag is the attack tag. Okay, and then right below that we have the paragraph tags right in here. Okay, so those are the tags that we could be using, and for this demo, these tags are not going to be changing. We're going to rearrange the type only using CSS. Okay, so now that I have spoken about the HTML tags, I now want to talk about the CSS that we could be using for this demo. As we can see here, this formatting of this text is not too exciting, and it doesn't appear to be that good. What we can be doing is we're going to add CSS to this to make it look much better. So let me break down the different aspects of CSS so that you can understand what we're doing with the tags and the tags and CSS. So just like any language being used today, CSS has its own syntax. The syntax is broken down into what you see in my diagram here, right here. You have the snuggle, where the P is, then you have the brackets, and everything in between the brackets is called the properties, and what comes after the colon is the value. Okay, so, and don't forget they need to have a semicolon as well that goes after its value. So let me explain this even more with the W01 file that we're using for this demo. So as I explained, what is this body? This is the snuggle. Background color, that is the properties. Okay, and what here is the value of the property. Okay, and everything in between the brackets is going to be affected. It's going to affect the body snuggle. Okay, so how did we get the name body right now? Okay, and what does that mean in terms of HTML? Okay, so if we go back to the HTML file, the body is one here, the body tag, one here. So in terms of HTML, this is the body tag. But in terms of the CSS, this is called the snuggle. Okay, so oftentimes the snuggle is the same thing as the tags that you see in HTML. Okay, so let me explain even more. How does this file in the Google Chrome browser window looks like the way it does? Okay, so if you look in the HTML file, everything between the body tag, the beginning of the body tag, and the end tag is going to be seen inside of the browser window of Google Chrome. Okay, so in the body tag we have snuggle, we have a background color, and this is the color. This is the hex color, and as you can see that this file contains a hex color for the background that is the same color that is seen in the Google Chrome browser window. Okay, and then you have another property called color, and this is a brown color. So the color property here is affecting all of the type that you see here because it's brown. And then the text is formatted using the open sans that we got from the Google fonts right in here. So I will explain even more to you as we go forward. But I think this is a good beginning to our discussion about CSS. Okay, welcome back to my demo on how to format type with CSS. So when we left off, this is what we had. Okay, we had and this file was the format was CSS01 HTML and the demo01 CSS file. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to the format with CSS02 HTML file. So as you can see that that the O2 file and the O1 file is the same. Okay, it's the same. The only difference is that when you go to the O2 file, you see underneath where the CSS is that the demo O2.css is being used. So the CSS file of O2 is connected to the O2 HTML file. Okay, so let me see what that looks like inside of the browser window. So I have it open, and this is the O2 HTML file, and it looks pretty much the same with one major difference. That is the current design process piece of information is on top is typeset and format differently using a different typeface and different style and different color. So how did we do that? So we go back to demo O2 CSS. We added a new snaggle, and we add even more properties. We added the properties of font family. We added the property of font size, font weight, no spacing, and color. So let me break this down. What is the means? Okay. So the H3 snaggle in CSS is the H3 tag right here. So that's why the current design process is being affected by the CSS styles that we're using. Okay. So, and I'll keep in mind as well that the Google Fonts has two different typefaces. This is one typeface where my cursor is. That one and that one. So there's two different typefaces. Okay. So let's look at the demo O2.css file. Okay, so the file family is this typeface right here. We know that we have that one inside of the Google fonts right here. Okay. And then we also have the weight, size, no spacing, and the weight, and the weight is defined by right here versus 400 right here. Okay. So that is how that particular one, that particular typographic information is being affected by CSS. Okay, and the for the font size and the noise spacing, I use a particular measurement called EM. uh, EM is a new way of how we can measure type and sizes and what have you for the web. Okay, so let's move on to the next file, which is format CSS 03.html and w03.css. So as you can see with the format with CSS 03 HTML file, this is not different than what we had with formatting with CSS up to HTML. The only difference is, again, we have a new CSS file that is unique to this file. This is the w03.css file, and that is what in here. Okay, so let me show you what is different about the HTML file when we open that up inside of a browser. So this is what it looks like right now. So as you can see, it's beginning to look like what the font design is going to look like. So we have the H3 tag when we had the subhead, which we use the swarm tag for on here, and then we have the paragraph tags. And unlike the one we had with O2, the format of CSS O2 file, everything now is centralized. There's a text line, the center, and the paragraph text, as you can see here. The non-spacing is more wide open than you would see with the O2 HTML file. So how did we get to this point? We got to this point only using CSS. So if we go to the demo03.css file, we added 3 more properties to the body cycle. We added a line height. We also added noise spacing, and we also added the text align property. And the value of the text align is center. That's why the whole text is center online. And as I mentioned before, the noise spacing is more wide open. Well, that's because we have the noise spacing of 0.1 EM, as you can see here. And then we also, if we look back with O2, the HTML O2 file, the non-spacing is more tight compared to here. That is because we added non-height of 2 EM. Okay, so that is why the this file of format with CSS03 looks like the way it looks like. So now we could be moving on to formatting with CSS04. Okay, so now the only major difference is we have the gray fill fat paint of gray behind the type. Okay, so how did we get to that? Well, if you open up the HTML file of format with CSS on 4, and if we go to the file, and then if you drag it inside our brackets, like that. And then if we go to demo on 4.css, and you select that and drag it to brackets, you can see what is different about this. Okay. Now, from the format with CSS on 1 HTML all the way up to format with CSS on 3, these were the same. But with format with CSS, there is one major difference with that HTML file. That is, we added what is called a div. DRV, okay, and DRV stands for division. So we add a division, and we give it the ID of top header, okay, and just like with different tags to format type, the div ID has a sub tag and an end tag, okay, of div right here. So this div is is right here, and everything in between these tags is could be inside of that div. So that's why this file looks like the way it looks like. Okay. So just look at what we have with the demo of 4.css file. So we added a new snaggle, and when you use AID, like we did here, AID, we need to use a pound sign next to the name of the ID in CSS to identify it as a ID, okay? And we give it a background color of this gray color. So this gray color is the same gray color that is in here before you. Okay, so just move on to format with CSS 05 .html to see the file design. Okay, so if we go back to format with CSS 05 .html, you drag it into brackets, and then you also drag demo05.css file into brackets, just like that. And then you also open that up inside of Chrome. All I gotta do is drag it, just like that. You get the file design, okay? And the only major difference that we have here is we now have a border around this gray field. We had this, and then we end up with that. So how did we get to that? Well, just look at the demo05.css file. Okay, we had 2 more properties. So for the div ID of top header, like for the div, we add a property of panning and margin. Okay, So what next to do to show you how this works with each of these properties, what next to show you is what happens when you delete them. We can see what happens. So we subtract the pattern. So now there's no pattern between the top type and the bottom type. Okay, so just add that back in so we can see. So we add that back in. Now this pattern between the S of the grade div on top and bottom now. Okay, so this on subtract margin and we can see what it looks like now. So the now there's not much of a border around the gray field as it was before. So we can go put that back in. Just like that. Okay, so that is how you can format type with CSS. I could be giving more demos on YouTube that will show you more examples of how you can format type with CSS. Stay tuned.